How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Pokemon Masterclass, episode 12. I am your co-host, Brandon Zero Schmucker, and I got my other co-host, Grassleader Justin, over here. Say hi, Justin.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to be back from vacation. Glad to be doing another podcast. Really excited about today's topic.
Yes.
First, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's it's been summer, so I feel like content's been a little slow on our end, but we've been camping and stuff like that. It's summer. We're doing summery things.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on in the Pokemon world until this week. We had a huge release. Justin, you want to talk about
We talked about it a lot today. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you want to tell everybody what our main topic is today?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the new game that just dropped. It's free to play on Switch and mobile. It's Pokemon Unite.
Yes, sir.
So it's really obviously perfect for us on the channel. As I've mentioned before on the podcast a few times, I've played League of Legends for about a decade. So this is basically that. It's a MOBA style. Like, if anybody played Dominion on League of Legends, where you go around scoring points, it's basically that. Instead of towers and defending towers, you're just going around collecting points and scoring points. There's no minions. There's wild Pokemon that you go around and kill and collect experience, and you fight.
It's been a great time.
I never knew I always wanted.
Yeah, it's been a good time. We have been really cracking out on this game for the last few days because it came out Wednesday. We are currently recording right now on a Friday. Or not a Sunday, sorry. We usually record on Fridays, but our schedule's been a little crazy because summer is so fun. But we've been playing this game really hard. I think since Wednesday, I'm pretty sure I've got 70 games under my belt. I'm pretty sure.
I've got about 50.
Yeah, and you've been working. You've been working a lot, and you've still got a bunch of games under your belt.
Well, and that's the beauty of it, is that unlike League of Legends or Dota or any of the other games, it's only 10-minute matches.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into all that. Going to be the main segment for today, so definitely stay tuned. Or otherwise, if you'd like, if you've already heard all the news, or maybe you just want to skip ahead, there's going to be timestamps, so go ahead.
Yep. There hasn't been a whole lot happening. Really quick, as you can see, I cut my hair. So F's in the chat. I want to see some F's in the chat for my hair. All right, everybody?
Yeah. That means I got to go and redraw a couple avatars for the channel.
Yep. But anyway, so like I was going to say, we're going to get into our usual stuff. There hasn't been a whole lot there hasn't been a whole lot happening in the world of competitive Pokemon when it comes to VGC or singles. We do have tier shifts that we are going to go over and talk about semi-extensively. And then VGC Series 10, we're going to talk a little bit. It hasn't officially started, but we're going to talk about what's kind of trending and what you can kind of expect on the first day when it finally opens up on the Switch. We'll just kind of dive right into that. But I did want to say, and Justin kind of will agree with me on this, we've been having a really good time with Pokemon Unite, and we are definitely planning on doing... we're kind of planning on adding that to the list of things that we cover here on the channel. We're going to be...
Absolutely.
We're going to be putting out Pokemon Unite content. We might be doing like guides. We don't know like the full extent, but you're going to be getting lots of gameplay at the very least. I can...
The fun thing is that we have... and we both have capture cards.
Yes.
We all have Switches. There's like 10 of us in the PMC crew here locally now that all have a Switch and have the game. So we have plenty of people, and we can also like do in-house scrims, lots of fun stuff like that. The two things that are going to be on top of my list for Unite content are going to be guides and then actual battles.
Yes.
The number third the third option, depending on how things go on the docket right now, would be to do like a sort of a pseudo live stream thing where we're all just playing and you can kind of hear all of us, and it's just kind of us shooting the you know what with each other.
Yeah, that'd be.
Game.
Yeah,
but that's sort of something down the road.
we definitely might get like if we get into streaming, because that's streaming is something that we on the channel like don't do right now, but it's something that we've thought like as we grow, we
Hmm.
would love to start streaming if people want to see that, and this might be a really good avenue to that. You know what I mean? On top of all the regular competitive, true competitive things that we do um, with singles and doubles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So expect a lot more Pokemon Unite content. That's just something that we've been really looking forward to. Something that we've been enjoying.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna kick that off with this podcast. So before we get to that, let's talk about tier trends. Let's talk about Series 10.
Yeah, let's do tier trends. I'm
Yep.
excited.
Yep. All right. Cool. Let's get right to it.
It's not even tier trends. It's tier
Oh yeah,
shift.
it's tier shifts. It's not trends. No
That's why
more
I'm so
trends.
excited. I'm gonna spoil one thing right now. F's in the chat for one of my top 10 favorites, a Hoenn rep, a channel mascot.
F's in
Stay
the
tuned.
chat. F's in the
Stay
chat.
tuned. We'll let you know in a minute.
We got the tier changes. Like Justin said, these are not trends. These are set in stone. This is real life. This is happening.
Every 3 months now.
Yep, every 3 months. So let's just go down the list of rises.
We're a little late because of our vacation schedule and
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah.
this is our turn to cover it. This is us just giving our because we're late. We're not going to do like a huge thing on it. We
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
would have, and next time we definitely will
Yep.
because the next tier shifts. If you count out 3 months from July, August, September, October. That's right before what comes out, Brandon.
Diamond and Pearl, baby. Diamond and Pearl.
So I expect the next tier changes to be maybe either October or they could just push it to November.
Yeah, because we're fully expecting Diamond and Pearl Pokemon to make their way through Pokemon Home into Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
okay, so let's talk a little bit about the rises. We'll go through them. Some of them we won't talk too much about. Some of them we will talk about extensively. So going from the borderline to OU, first of all, is Weavile. No surprise here. Weavile has one of the strongest knockoffs in the game.
Really powerful.
It's a great.
So did your boy Caesar too.
Yeah, and Caesar rising up because of Weavile rising up. Weavile usage has been on the rise because, like Choice Banded knockoff is insane. Ice Shard is really good against Landorus. You know what I mean? Like through Intimidate, you can still like KO like a Landorus at 40 or 50% depending on what
Easily.
your build is with Weavile. So Weavile's
Yep.
kind of rising up to handle some of those things. Knocking off a Toxapex on Switch for like 60% is really nice. So the utility and offense that you get with Weavile at the same time, really, really nice. And that brings us to Scizor and Mew, sort of. Mew's not really. Mew doesn't like Weavile. But Scizor, yeah. I mean, Scizor rising up, obviously, because of Weavile. Bullet Punch just obliterates Weavile. He's not afraid of Ice Shard in any way. And
No, not even a little bit.
Yep. And his U-turns hurt. If you want to use him
Oh, yeah.
defensively for like a pivoting spot, which I've run like a Fizdef Scizor, and people are running like Spadef, especially defensive Scizors. Those U-turns still hurt, like no matter what build you're running. You know what I mean? Like,
Slap.
you know what I mean?
They really do.
Yeah,
It's impressive.
yeah. Interesting to see Mew rising up. I think the utility that Mew provides and just that sort of the mystery surrounding Mew is really good in my opinion. I think that's always something that's you can catch anyone off guard with
If anybody
Mew.
wants to know, if anybody wants to know what I'm doing right here, I got my stylus. I'm just working on some PMC artwork.
Yep.
That's my girlfriend Haley right there with some of her favorite Pokemon.
Yep. You'll be seeing more of these avatars
That's one.
rolling out since we're all playing Pokemon Unite.
Yeah. We're all playing Pokemon. Haley's not on Unite yet. She hasn't been able to try it, but we've been really busy at work. So.
Yeah.
She is actually excited to try it because she plays Smash with us and she beats us in Smash.
Yeah,
all the
she
time,
beats
doesn't
Justin all the time. Just got
Hey,
the
she beats all of us.
Yeah,
she
dude.
beats all of us in group Smash.
yeah. Oh yeah, group
Yeah,
smash. She won like a
there.
bunch of matches. But yeah. Um, so more BL Pokemon moving up to UU. We got Slowbro that was trending. Zygarde, Doggo is trending. Really coil, extreme speed, stuff like that. Really,
He's just so strong.
yeah,
He really does fill that niche. He's just got the stats to, because like yeah, he's squishy, right?
yeah.
But not like he's not like in Rock squishy.
No, and one
Do you
thing
know
with
what I'm saying?
yep, and obviously
And
like
he's stronger than he's stronger than Rock, and he's in terms of like these assassin types, he's tankier than Rock.
yeah, he comes with the most spammable move, truly the most spammable move in the game. Thousand Arrows. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what your type is, you can't hide
Yeah,
from Thousand
yeah.
Arrows.
Does that work on Balloon too?
You know, I'm not sure, but I would assume that it does because it targets
Crazy, isn't it?
because it pulls down Levitate.
Oh, does
You know what
it?
I mean? It's not just
Wow.
flying types; it'll pull down levitating Pokemon too. So
Gravity.
I'm assuming that does work on the balloon.
That's cool.
So yeah, like I said, easily the most spammable move in the game. Um,
Really, really.
so as another couple cool Pokemon moving up, RU to UU, you got Rhyperior and Zygarde. Zygarde, it was kind of just a matter of time because his usage was so high. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it was just he was just on like every single
that
team
was
that
one of
you
the
fought
ones
at
that I
RU.
think we have been talking about last time we talked about tier trends.
Yes.
I
Yep.
think we have been talking about dog.
I think every single time we talk about
So
RU, we talk
it's
about
definitely
Zygarde.
one that we have to.
You know, I mean, yeah, like he was like the quintessential like must have Pokemon on your team when it
Yep,
came to RU. You know what I mean? The only thing he was
I
afraid of was
agree. I
Crobat.
agree.
You know what I mean? So, not a surprise to see him finally get enough usage to just move up to UU, as well as with like certain things moving out of UU, like Weavile and Scizor. And with those things
Yeah.
kind of moving up and out, he's going to find sort of a nice place, I would say. It'll be interesting that both Moltres are in that
Yep.
tier, so you know we'll kind of see how it goes. Rhyperior moving up to UU, that's pretty interesting. What do you think about that?
I love it. I mean, Rhinox is a huge, shout out. We have 4 more days until the Beast Boars come back in Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
4 more
let's
days,
go.
bro. 4 more days. Super excited. But yeah, so obviously 90s babies, we love Beast Wars.
Yeah,
Rhinox, the Rhyperior.
Yep.
It's the staple for the channel, staple for our PMC crew for the past decade. It's my Rhyperior with Rock Wrecker.
Yep.
Because that's how I roll.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, no, Rhinox is insane. Rhyperior is really good in a lot of different roles. Being able to use like the Stealth Rock Dragon Tail set, being able to do the whether you're doing the Trick Room Swords Dance with Fire Punch and Dual Stab. There's a lot of good options.
Yeah, I'm looking through the
Weakness
tier right
Policy
now.
is also really popular in VGC
Yep.
for what it's worth. Love Rhyperior, huge fan.
I'm looking through the tier right now, and he's actually really good against a lot of the more defensive. Some of them, not all of them. He's kind of good against like a lot of the defensive options, like if you're on Earthquake for like Aegislash and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then
really good.
there were more that I saw. Both of the birds, both of the Mold Traces, he's really really good against those because those usually come in defensive forms. Good,
Yeah, absolutely.
good against Nido
He
Queen.
smashes them. He does not care.
Yep.
Obviously, if you're running like Stone Edge or whatever, he'll just completely obliterate him still.
Yep, both of the Thunderouses are up
Right.
here. You know what I mean? He can Stone Edge the Thunderouses, Earthquake for
Yep.
Tentacruel. So
Yep.
it'd be really interesting to see. He looks like he's going to struggle a lot against the more offensive options.
Yeah.
But we'll just kind of wait and see because Pelipper's in this tier. So, you know, Rain, we'll see. Is Drizzle allowed? It is. So we're going to be seeing Rain teams. So we'll see if he lasts in UU. That'll be really interesting to see, I would say.
Yeah. I like him a lot right now.
Yep. So let's
Where
move
he's
on.
at.
let's move on to RU. This is where we're going to be talking a lot about one of your boys. First and foremost, we have to mention Poltegeist has moved from NUBL to RU. Not a surprise. He gets Shell Smash and destroys teams, as well as Strength Sap
Yep.
to heal himself up, and Giga Drain to heal himself up. So that's just too much offense for NU. So
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
and he kind of smashes a lot of the defensive options there. Like Bronzong's like the biggest defensive option there, and Shell Smash Shadow Ball just like obliterates Bronzong.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Yep.
It's really true.
So let's move on. Let's talk about Flygon, buddy. You got something to say about Flygon moving up to RU?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, for when the artwork comes out, Flygon will actually be on there because Trapinch is cool.
Yeah.
Vibrava's all right.
Yep.
But Flygon's where it's at. He is my Dragonite. He
Yes.
is my number one. Like, Brandon was surprised about how big Flygon was. It's like, oh, he thought he was like a little.
Yeah, I thought he was a little guy. He's a big guy.
Oh, he's like 7 foot long.
Yeah, dude.
He's almost as big as Dragonite. He's just not as fat. He's nice and slim.
Yeah.
And he's got better wings.
Yep.
Anyways, no, this is one thing that we're not really surprised about, but we are sad about.
Yes.
For 6 months, for half of this year, the PMC has been destroying NU ladder on Smogon with our we call it the Justin Fave team. That's what it saved on my Smogon.
Yeah, we got like Sceptile,
Sceptile,
Flygon,
Flygon, Arcanine, Galvantula, Bronzong,
Blastoise.
and Blastoise. Blastoise is just a pocket fave for everybody.
Everyone likes Blastoise. Yeah. So I'm looking at Flygon.
To unite.
I'm looking at Flygon, and I'm looking at the RU tier right now, and I really like his place in RU. I think a Choice Scarf version of Flygon is going to be very good because Choice Scarf outspeeds.
He still has really good coverage options, doesn't he?
Yep. He outspeeds Chandelure. He can super effective hit Cobalion. He outspeeds Darmanitan. That's going to be huge to have like a Choice Scarf option faster than Darmanitan because Darmanitan is one of the most commonly scarfed Pokemon in the tier.
Really, a lot. Yeah.
Yep. You turning out on things like Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a really common scarf Pokemon. You will get intimidated, but you've got Stab Earthquakes for Incineroar, for Klefki, Alolan Marowak, Metagross. Like the list kind of goes on.
Goes on and on.
You turning on
There's a reason he's one of
Obstagoon.
my top 10 favorites.
Yeah.
Because he's insane. Like, not only does he look cool, he's big enough to ride, which obviously that's a prerequisite. You have to be able to ride.
Yeah.
But not only that, he's also really good in game.
Yep. Yeah.
It's so strong.
He's got Scarf Earthquakes for Raikou, Scarf Dragon Claws for Regidrago. You turning out on Reuniclus. I think I like him in this tier.
He's
Toxtricity,
really
Toxtricity, and Xurkitree.
F's in the chat for our boy Flygon.
F's in the chat for Flygon.
We call him Dragonfly around here, but this is a sad day for us, but it's also a happy day because it's not. He will thrive.
I think so too.
TLDR, he's going to do very well.
Yes.
It's just it's one of those bittersweet moments.
Yep. You turn out on Umbreon.
You can play the song right now in the arms.
Yeah. I agree, man. I think outside of like the bulkiest Pokemon on the tier, like he's really gonna have a good time against the offensive threats in the tier. I would venture to say.
I really think so.
I think so too. I really like his place. So we'll move on. We've got Politoed moving up to RU. I'll tell you exactly why that is. That's because
it's rain.
It's
and it's
rain.
There it is.
They're allowing rain, and guess who's in RU for some reason? Barraskewda.
There we go.
Why is Barraskewda in RU? I don't know, guys. Start using Barraskewda because he does not belong in RU.
Stocks are up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not a surprise to see that.
No, not super, super strong. We do love our Politoed. I'm a huge, obviously, rain fan. Everybody, fans of the channel know I love rain. It's my favorite weather. It's also one of my favorite ways to build a team. So I am excited about that because being able to, because it's still like moderate, like medium tier, right? There's still a lot of good options to where like Ludicolo can still slap in this tier.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Poncho, when are you? You guys want to see that on the channel? Let us know down in the comments.
Yeah,
Too late. You're gonna.
we might run it.
Anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll probably run that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, dude.
We're gonna do it 'cause I'm here, and that's what I want to do.
Yep.
If it's legal, I'm gonna run Poncho.
Yep. Okay, so PU to NU, we've got Dark Dragon here, Guzzlord moving up. He's a
Yep.
really strong knockoff option as well.
Yep.
Then we've got Heliolisk moving up. Just better Jolteon, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's better coverage because it's got stab hyper voice.
Yeah, and Grass Knot as
The fact
well.
that it has stab hyper voice is honestly like the pocket pick of the set or of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so strong because it covers the grass types.
Yeah, and it does have Grass Knot, which is not as good.
Or sir.
It's not as good now that he's in NU. Looking through NU, but when he was in PU, that was still pretty good. You know.
I'm excited. We love Heliolisk.
Yeah. So I don't think
He's just the electric Sceptile.
I don't think you'll really need Grass Knot anymore unless you want to hit
No,
Golurk.
I personally think it's gonna be Surf now. I think it's gonna be
Yes.
Surf. I think it's gonna be T-Bolt, or Discharge. But I think it's gonna be T-Bolt, Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, and Surf.
Yep.
With boots.
Yeah, I agree. Because the only thing you really want Grass Knot for is like Golurk, but you could just surf that.
You can surf it.
Yeah, and like you don't have to worry about Mantine switching in and taking a Water Absorb if you're running Boots, because then you just Thunderbolt it next turn. So, yeah,
faster and you threaten it regardless.
yeah,
Even if it's Assault Vest with max special defense.
yep.
It doesn't. It's still ×4 stab, and it's what is it? 109 base special attack.
Then we've got Toxicroak and Xatu moving up. Toxicroak, really strong Sucker Punch user.
I like the Toxicroak a lot.
I do too. He's really good against when we caught him a couple times in our NU episode, Showdown Sundays. We'll link that in the description.
We did.
We caught that. It's really good against Sylveon, one of the premier Pokemon in the tier. It was good against our Starmie. Sucker Punch our Starmie, just took that boy right out.
We obviously, for just to interject right here for people that don't know, or anybody that is new or maybe we haven't mentioned before, either OU or NU is by far our PMC or local meta's like favorite two singles meta.
Yeah.
So like for us, NU is as relevant as OU or more sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, so if a Pokemon moves into NU viability like this, to where, I mean, before they were still viable because, you know what I mean, they were, but now they're like actually part of the tier, so we're going to see them a lot more consistently.
Yes.
Because like the plebs are just going to log on and be like, oh, who's in the tier? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll plug and play.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There's no disrespect there. It's just you're just going to naturally see him more because it's just how humans work.
It's a team building styles, just like building a
exactly.
meta team. So
Exactly. So Guzzlord, I do think is a big deal because he's just so tanky, and he has stab knockoff, stab Dragon Tail, which can or cannot be an issue, but the stab knockoff is by far the big. It's because it's really hard to one-shot him unless you have a fairy type.
yeah, he can get kind of scary if they're running like an adamant nature and they're beast boosting their knockoff. That can
Still in NU?
What's that?
Is Sylveon still NU?
Oh yeah.
I think their stocks just went through the roof if they weren't already.
Yeah, but that's part of another reason why Toxicroak is rising. You know what I mean? Because you can Swords Dance and Gunk Shot. There's not much Sylveon can do. I don't know if Hyper Voice.
Here's a pro tip, people. If you have a Swords Dance, and this is not to put anything to Brandon, he already knows this. If you put a Swords Dance up, even if they're max defense, it doesn't matter. With stab, you can just run Poison Jab, and you don't run the chance of missing. Don't get greedy.
Yeah.
Don't get greedy and run your Gunk Shot. How many times have we won because they missed Gunk Shots on Smogon? The last two times we fought against a Toxicroak, I think it was actually on the channel.
It might have been. Yeah.
So don't get greedy for the Gunk Shot. It's not worth it. It's like running Fire Blast. You don't need it. Just run flame. If you're already boosting, if you're just running off flat damage or choice specs or something, sure maybe. But if you're doing like a boosting set like a Swords Dance or Nasty Plot or anything like that, you want to make sure that you're hitting those moves.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Because you don't want to waste. Like if you end up getting the setup, you don't want to lose it because you got greedy for like a raw thunder.
Yep.
Just go for Thunderbolt.
All right, so we're going to wrap these up so we can get moving on to the next thing. Xatu gets teleport, a lot of physically defensive. I think he gets wish as well, wish, roost, teleport, future sight. So that kind of archetype of psychic type is moving up, and that's why plus magic bounce. So that's kind of why you see Xatu moving up. I think he's going to be a really fun pick for the tier. And then we got Garbodor moving up in NU. That's a kind of a really good spike setter. I think the defensive versions of Garbodor are definitely superior to the offensive versions.
Always, in my opinion. I don't rate it even in like a Dynamax format. I don't think it gives enough oomph. We'll say.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's not tanky enough to just sit there and stall forever. So it's just kind of a weird.
Yep.
Whatever. Yep. It's a trash bag.
Yeah, it's a trash bag.
Trash.
Yep. ZU, we've got Frostlass moving up to PU from ZU. I don't know why it was ZU to begin with.
I love Frostlass.
I do too.
That's a pseudo Hoenn rep right there.
I think choice sets are like the premier right now, like the Switcheroo, Triple Axle, Poltergeist, and like Ice Shard.
Can I mention what I love about it?
Yeah.
The fact that it's so ambidextrous because it has 80. It's only 80, but it has the same offensive power on both physical and special sides.
Yeah. That's so. I like that too.
It's hard to yes, the triple axle poltergeist. I love it. You love it. You just mentioned it. But you can also run like the Shadow Ball Ice Beam.
Yes. Yeah. I have one of each. I also have one that sets spikes.
I have 4 Frostlass on my cartridge.
Yeah.
Competitive Frostlass.
I think I've got one.
I won for VGC for the Frost Breath Anger Point Tauros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you crit your own Dynamax Tauros, and then he gets plus 12 attack or whatever, and you just
Yep. Then we got Sandslash moving up. Really nice defensive option. I love physically defensive Sandslash for spikes and rapid spin, or Stealth Rock rapid spin. In this meta, he gets knockoff, so that's really good. I really like that. I don't know which Steel Valley that is. I think it's Steel.
Fairy?
Is it Fairy?
I don't know. It looks kind of purpley. I'm not sure.
Either way, there's a Steel Valley moving. What else is new? And then we got drops here. We've got Nidoking, Pelipper, and Regieleki. Regieleki?
Yeah. About Pelipper. Penelope herself.
Yeah, that's... Well, let's start with Nidoking. Nidoking just... I don't want to say I'm surprised that he was OU for so long, because his coverage is like impeccable. You know what I mean? I still think he's a viable OU option. I just think that the things that rose up to OU are just better. Like when you look at Weavile, Mew, and Scizor, those are just better Pokemon.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean Nidoking is not, because when you really think about it, depending on the situation, Nidoking can knock all those Pokemon out, especially Scizor because he gets Flamethrower. So. But
he has the speed problem.
Yes, he does. He definitely has the speed problem.
How do you compensate for that?
Yeah, and like he does hit hard, so a lot of that depends on calling out the switches and stuff like that. It's a mind game with him, I think, honestly. Switching, like hitting the Ice Beam on the Landorus when it switches in. Like that's how you play Nidoking, in my opinion. Or like subbing up on a switch, whatever. That I feel like that's how you play Nidoking.
Yeah.
And when you look at the Pokemon that rose up,
I don't love that, but yeah, I do agree that that's how you play him correctly.
Yes, yeah. And when you look at the Pokemon that rose up, they don't have to play that game. Honestly, like Scizor, when things switch out, you can boost up, you can U-turn out. Like the things that you can do when you apply pressure with Scizor and Weavile is greater than the things you can do with Nidoking. So
yep. Spot on. Spot on. Really well said.
Yeah, yeah. And then Pelipper moving down. That is sad to see. Enabling, I guess.
It's been OU for so long and have been so like its stats are actually pretty decent.
Hmm.
Like when you look at Pelican as 100 defense, you're like, you know what? He actually doesn't have terrible stats.
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
it just can't last in a meta like this anymore. The rain isn't enough.
Yeah,
But UU having rain now,
yeah. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be. We'll see what rises up to kind of like counteract that. You know what I mean?
Ludicolo.
Really cool. Yeah. So Regilecki moving down two. I'd pin that on.
That's it.
I'd pin that on Landorus. Honestly, Landorus is the most used Pokemon in OU. So
Yep.
we've kind of talked about this before. Regilecki doesn't have an answer for Landorus. Like even if you are packing
Oh.
Explosion, you're getting intimidated before you explode. So, but I do think he's going to do well in UU. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets banned out of UU. Just because his offense is so great, he's going to break some of the defensive options there, like the mold traces and stuff like that. So, so yeah, we'll see what happens to him. We've got Ninetales moving down from UU to RU. That would be because Light Clay has been banned
Yep.
in UU and below, and just having that Light Clay Aurora Veil is
Yep.
you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. So,
Unfortunately.
yep. And then we've got Quagsire moving from UU to PU. Quagsire has been like one of the funniest Pokemon in this like generation, as he kind of just like moves up as boosting threats take over a meta.
Yep.
Unaware
What do you need?
Unaware Quagsire moves up when the boosting threats get like too strong. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Spot on.
what does Swords
That's right.
Dance Scizor do against Quagsire?
Nothing.
Nothing. You know what I mean? It's so like it's kind of funny to see him bounce up and down, like moving from like whatever tier he's needed in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, and then we have Arctozolt moving from NU to PU. Snow Warning has been banned. That was why that's a thing.
Yeah.
And then Articuno, Galarian Articuno moving to PU. I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it.
Yeah.
That is
Poor
because there are no intimidating options in NU. So procking your competitive is really hard. I'm not gonna. There might be one intimidate. Okay, Arcanine. Intimidate Arcanine is
Yeah.
the only Pokemon that runs Intimidate in the NU tier.
Well, and then you can dip down and get Timmy Top.
Yeah, and then but you know what I mean, people aren't really using him on top of this tier. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
it is unfortunate to see not a lot of boosting opportunities for competitive. You're better off running Calm Mind and stuff like that. But then like Tyrantrum just comes in, Choice Scarf Tyrantrum comes in and just like rockheads you for free. So that is unfortunate
All
to
day.
see. Unfortunate to see. I'm a little sad about it.
Yep.
And then last but not least, we have a couple of Slush Rush Pokemon moving from PU to ZU. That is the Hail effect.
Absolutely.
So that
no more Slush Rush.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep. So that was a lot of stuff trending. So we'll move on from that. That is going to be our singles news, and we are going to move on to some Series 10 talk. All right. So Series 10 is going to be starting in X amount of days. I'm looking at my phone, like 6 or 7 days. We're going to get Series 10 started. There has been a server up on Showdown. No more Dynamax. We did talk about Series 10 extensively in an extracurricular. We're going to link that below. We're going to talk very shortly about Series 10 because it kind of hasn't officially started yet. But we kind of want to talk about it and talk about the things that you are expecting to see day one. Justin hasn't been playing a lot of Series 10 so far. I've played a little bit, and I've got my first team in its kind of beta right now, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm trying out Xerneas. I think Xerneas is like the coolest looking legendary that we've had for a long time.
Nice.
And
I appreciate that. I like that.
so as far as like the big threats, obviously Zacian is like the biggest threat to the meta. Kyogre's still reigning supreme. Calyrex Shadow Rider is better. Xerneas is moving up into the top 10 in usage. when we had legendaries in Series 8, you didn't see a lot of the legendaries in the top 10 to 15 because there were still Dynamax options that
Yeah.
kind of counteracted them. And it's kind of not the case anymore. So now you're seeing more of these restricted Pokemon moving up in the usage, which is really
Yeah.
interesting. Which is really interesting.
Well, because it's a completely different meta, right? Like
It
not
is.
being able to get to change weather instantly or
Yes.
terrain or just being able to get the double HP and just live hits you're not supposed to live. Like there's a lot of implications to not being
Yes.
able to.
There is. So things that I've been seeing, definitely a lot of Zacian, obviously. Kyogre, which I think Xerneas teams are a pretty good answer to
Yeah.
Kyogre. I have not been struggling with Kyogre because I'm running Wide Guard plus Geomancy and
Yep.
Thunder. So
Really good.
I've not had trouble with rain teams. I think Xerneas teams are a really good natural answer to Kyogre teams.
That's really good to know.
Yep. Yveltal is still pretty good. However, Xerneas I think is better. Because Xerneas is better, it makes Yveltal a little bit worse. So like day one, expect to see a lot of Xerneas, a lot of Zacian, a lot of Kyogre. Those are like the biggest threats right now. Incineroar still ruling the game, and then it's fun to see some kind of like unknown threats kind of moving up, like Serena and stuff like that, to stop fake
Yeah.
outs, to stop Grassy Glides into Kyogre. Like I
I
said,
like Serena a lot. She's
I do too.
obviously being the resident grass leader here.
Yeah, I do too. And you know what's funny, dude, is Shedinja is like kind of moving up because when you think about Shedinja, Zacian, Kyogre, Xerneas, they don't run coverage moves to cover for Shedinja. So
Nope.
I've actually I'm assuming it's a meme, but there's actual traction for Shedinja right now, and it's
It
like
really is.
it's
And
kind of
that's
funny.
awesome. The whole in rep. So.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's actually like super funny. So that'll open up. We're not sure what we're gonna do for content for Series 10. We'll still be doing battle videos and stuff like that. You just probably won't get as many as you did for the previous series. We're gonna be
Yeah, it's just
sprinkling.
not as high.
Yeah, and we're gonna be sprinkling
Yeah.
more Unite content. So
We have Unite now, so
yeah. So all right, well, with that, let's talk a little bit about Unite before we do a deep dive. So let's talk a little bit about what Unite is, and then we'll take a break, and then we're gonna talk a little more extensively about some of the Pokemon
we did
in
talk
Unite.
about that in the intro.
I guess that's true. We did. I know. All right, you want to take a break, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll start talking Unite. All right, dude. Let's do it. All right, we will catch you guys in a second.